I guess it's just hard looking over at your son and realizing you're talking to a man who doesn't need his father's advice anymore.
Never doubt that just as you are a part of us, we will always be a part of you.
I told you in the helicopter that you were destined for a great future. That's why I've been so hard on you, trained you so relentlessly.
Clark is the most amazing person I've ever met, and your guidance helped make him into the man he is.
In psychology, a lot of people feel that the person that you become is deterministic, meaning that there are people who irrevocably shape you, and that you can't escape that part of your personality. That part is determined for you.
You're a product of your own environment, aren't we all?
A man can't deny his true nature, can he, Legs?
What the father does is provide the wisdom and the guidance for the hero to set off on his journey.
It's one of the most important relationships that exists, a father and a son.
Jor-El, Jonathan, and Lionel are all these father figures, but they're different types of father figures.
For Clark, he has these two very different father figures. He has the Kryptonian Jor-El and the human Jonathan Kent.
The way we've kind of referred to it here is if Jor-El was the father, Jonathan was the dad.
I am Jor-El, the true father of Kal-El.
I am his father. I raised him.
It's just two different parenting styles that created a lot of conflict for Clark over the years.
And we get to see him go through the struggle of taking those forces that have shaped him and trying to make sense of that and to step into his own person.
And that's the reason that we decided to basically shape this final season to be about the influences of Jor-El, Jonathan, and Lionel on their sons. I think what really helped Smallville launch in that very first season was the idea that not only did Martha and Jonathan kind of choose Clark and Clark chose them, but that they were the parents we all would choose.
I can't tell you how many people have come up with tears in their eyes, big guys, saying, if I could have one thing, it would be to have the relationship with my dad that you have with Clark.
Son, I am happy when you wake up in the morning.
For me, Jonathan has always been sort of the moral center of our series.
Chores, Clark. Work keeps a man honest. Got to protect the things you worked hard to build.
Jonathan made Clark more accountable for himself.
Clark needed Jonathan's experience and love. He needed a mentor.
He wasn't perfect, but he was helping Clark towards being perfect.
A big thing that Jonathan gives Clark is the permission, the ability, the confidence to go out and make a choice and have it be wrong and have that be okay.
There's nothing you could have done. Nothing.
Clark needs to know that human emotions, the human condition, is positive. Jonathan provides those emotions. More importantly, he and Martha, I think together, provide the love and the care.
What I loved was that Schneider didn't hold back from touching Clark, and he was an affectionate father. They were two very manly men, but they also had a very physical affection for each other, and I think it was a really important thing to show, especially since Clark literally physically couldn't touch his own father.
Welcome home, my son.
Home? I wanted to see it that way, Jor-El. I wanted to learn more about my family, about my destiny. And then you tore it all away.
Jor-El is the sort of antithesis of Jonathan.
Jor-El is sometimes distant, sometimes cold, sometimes more scientific.
He only speaks to the logical mind. He doesn't speak to the soul or the spirit. Jonathan feeds that spirit with encouragement and talk about what Clark could be, not what he is right now. Jor-El again and again criticizes Clark for what he is right now, which is that he has not fulfilled upon his destiny to become Superman.